The 6th annual Pet Angel Tree is back at the Pope Memorial Humane Society in Thomaston.
Now through the 24th of December, also known as Christmas Eve, folks can stop by the shelter, grab a tag from the tree, purchase the items, and place them under any of the trees at participating locations.
Now, items needed include pet food, cleaning supplies, toys, and more. You can stop by Ruckus Donuts in Rockland and Laurel's Dolce Vita to either pick a tag or place the purchased items there.
The Pope Memorial Humane Society was founded in 1989 and provides animals in need with medical resources, food, and shelter.
It has grown over the past 6 years. This room will be filled with gifts at the end. There's a tag, oh goodness, for almost every animal in the shelter on the tree, with some items on the tag that makes that animal stay that much more comfortable while they're here with us.
And the organization currently has 360 animals in their care, including puppies that are just 5 weeks old.